Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to this video on Oracle Apex data generation. And in this, we are going to discuss about data generator. Normally, why we need data generation? Uh, Especially when you are developing an application, and at that time you need to enter data in order to test, for example, the performance, for the validations, for reports layout, screens layout, etc. Now the question is how you will enter this data in your tables. Uh, if you already have another database, then you can take data from there, create maybe insert statements or whatever, and you can upload in your data, and then it will look like this. But if that is not possible, then you need some sample data, right? Sample means which you can check. Let's say, for example, uh, you have developed an application. It is very good when you are testing for one or two records, but you want to enter or add data. Let's say, for example, how it will perform on 10,000 records, right? You will have joins, you will have indexes, etc. So for that you need some sample data. So Oracle Apex is providing a tool or a feature called data generator, right? So today we are going to discuss how you can generate sample data, which will be for sure a sample data. But let's say, for example, you have a text field. You want to see how in reports it will look like. So you need enough data for that, right? Uh, there are different ways you want to test the layout of your application and things like that. So for that we are going to use this Oracle generator, and we will be going through blueprint designer, available in Oracle Apex. So let's go into practical. So this is my Oracle Apex live instance, apex.oracle.com, and the current version over here is 23.2. So maybe your Apex might be layout or look and feel is different, but this feature is let me show you where it is available. So you will be going to SQL workshop and SQL workshop utilities and data generator. Let me click this. So I have just created one. I will show you in a while. uh, my table is m table, which is a standard table, Oracle table, nothing new, nothing much. So now, for example, this is sample data. It is already there, let it be there. Now I need more records, 50, 100, whatever is there. Of course it will not have the exact names and all those things, but it will have the text, right? So we will be inserting in this, and let's say, for example, amp number is there, and this is I think based on sequence, so we don't need to enter it, it will be automatically added. So if you see, this is a sequence, right? So nothing to worry about this amp number, so we will exclude it. Okay. Let's see how blueprint works. So here I have created one amp blueprint, if you see here, and this is my table, right? And I have entered 50 records, right? I can change it, up to me. And then I have these columns which were taken from there automatically. I have done nothing to this. And then we have custom data sources, because you can have some data from other sources as well. Let's say, for example, table, this is coming from the department table, right? This is for the manager, it is taking from the amp number itself, right? So if you see here, I have removed the amp number, right? There is no amp number because it is already coming from the sequence, so I don't need to populate any value from here. And department number, if you see here, it is coming from this source, uh, which is a custom source. You can create your custom source over here, and it will appear later over there. You can have SQL query or existing table, up to you. You can have where condition and things like that. So let me remove this data source, and we have two data sources. One is for emp and one is for depth, right? So this emp is used for the manager. If you see here, emp number, and this is for depth number, right? Okay. in a while I will go into my technical or how we can create it, but just I want to show a output or demo. So if you see here on the right side, it has preview data, right? So let me see how it has generated the data. Okay, ename generated some data. Okay, this is sample data. I mean, but it will have the same width, which is of your column, or if you have specified exclusively while defining it, right? And this is manager. Again, it will come from the emp number because this is the same. And here you have hire date, and this is salary, this is commission. All salary and commission is randomly generated. Department number is taken from the department table, right? Even if you can have multiple tables, if you have foreign key and all those things, those can also be there, but I'm just keeping it simple to have with only single table, at least to know the concepts, right? uh, then you can generate data. Now in generation you have multiple options. You can create a file which can be a JavaScript object notation, JSON or CSV or SQL insert. So all these options are there. If you will insert an SQL, it will create an a text file, which you can further, run as a script, and it will insert the values into your table. Or even you can use this insert into database. That means it will add 50 sample data in the current table of AMP, right? Straightforward. Then we have insert into, that means one by one, single statement, but fast it is bulk in one go. It is maybe if you need too much data, then you can go with this. This will be might be slow. And row scaling is also there. This is some sort of, I think it will multiply. So let's say for example, if you have, I think given 50, it is 1x, that means it will add 50, right? You can go into the help, and you can find what is there. So a value of 100x will generate 100 times the number of provided rows, right? So since it is 1, so it will add 50. Validity is valid total 50. So insert, if I will insert, it will insert, or it will give an error. But one thing I would share here to the Oracle team, that their errors are really not friendly. I mean, you will not know what is the error and where to fix. It will just say data types and things like that, but it is confusing. But anyway, I will show you in a while the full practical as well. Let me go back and start. Now we will create a sample, right? Then I will go into further details. So utilities and data generator, right? It is the same screen, and now I will say create blueprint. Now here there are three options. From left to right, this is use existing tables which are there already created, and then we will select in a while, and we'll move from scratch, create a new blueprint from scratch. On a sample table, it will give you a sample table, and then you can create from there. Import JSON file. If you have already exported, you have a JSON file, you can import over here, up to you. But I'm going with the first option, which is from the left, use existing table, right? And if you see here, it was already done. So let me remove this filter. Okay, so I will say emp, and this is my emp table, right? Copy and paste. There is another option over here. If you see here, you can further check this one. And if you see here, we have excluded columns like this, which you don't need in the sample data. But let me show you on the first tab as well, because Oracle is not providing the full. If you see here, it is down, right? So even you can exclude your columns. So for example, emp number was I can add it over here, so it shouldn't be included, but let me remove it later. So XX emp, right? XX amp and nothing else over here. And for example, if you want to increase number of rows, you can increase even here. So just default is 50. Let us go with the 50. Create blueprint. Now it will create a blueprint, and then we will go inside into our columns and will try to generate different types of data and from different sources or um, with the different functions. Okay, blueprint successfully created, and if you see here, this is the display name, etc., and all these settings are there. So on left side, I got emp number. Now emp number, since it is my in the trigger sequence, I will just delete it. I don't want it. Otherwise, it might give some errors. I might not give errors, but I have removed because I'm using from there. Okay, now I have emp number. Sorry, ename. So here you have the name of the column. It will remain as it is. Now here is the changes or data sources. So for example, if you have any data source here over here, then it will display. Otherwise, this first will not appear over here, right? Okay, built-in. There are built-in functions. You can use that. Inline, if you want LOV to be created. I mean LOV based values. Sequence is, let's say for example 1 to 50 you want to create, or with the random number, up to you. Formula, if you have any formula, you can provide over the formula over here. Okay, now we will try different on different columns, so that's why I'm just keeping it like this. So my ename is at the moment latent text. This is just sample test. If you are doing web development, it is common. 32, its width will be 32, right, for this. If you see here, maximum length is 10 over here, right? And this is a sequence, this is the language, and this is display name. So let it be there, same as it is. I'm not going to change it. But here, percentage blank. Do you want to keep some 5% blank as well? No, all are required, so I will mark it required, right? And then I have job second. A good thing is, let's say for example, if you want an ename, and let's say if this is an email, so you can take this ename in the formula. So let me show you. I will not use it, but I'm just trying to show it. So in the formula, you can have these brackets and ename, right? Even you can put lower or these functions as well, up to you, right? Lower, and then you can concatenate, right? This, so at the rate erpstuff.com. For example, you have first name, last name, things like, you can concatenate as well. So it is formula driven. So this ename, it will take the value of ename and it will append this at erpstuff.com, right? And you can make it mandatory. This is one way with the formula, but let's keep formula for this example, and it is required. Required means it will run on all rows, not only on 1%. Okay, now manager, MGR. Manager will be itself, right? So it says custom source, which is this one, this one. So here we have selected this source, and amp and column, it is showing none. So let us go over here, and this is our amp table, and this is existing table we have selected. So now my next is hiring date, and if you see here, it is built in, and we are using date.random function, right? And I need all should be mandatory. Okay, now if you see here there are multiple built-ins, and I can't increase the size of this pop-up, but at least we can scroll. So for example, it has this Latin text. This is a sample dummy text, I would say, and it has a certain length as well. On the left side, if you see, this is 400 characters, this one, uh, any address. Let's say for example, if you have something related to food, plants, different airport, city, school, location, animals, I mean different type of sample data, right? But let us not confuse. At least you will understand what I'm trying to say. And in the hire date, we have already random date, right? In the salary, now I'm in the salary. So by default, it is GUID. It will be a lengthy number. Let me show you. We will click preview data, and if you see here, mm, see here, the salary is not acceptable, right? We need some amount. So let me change this to from GUI, and we will select a random and random number minimum value. Let's say for example, I have 1000. I'm just giving one value, and up to is 10,000, right? And all are required because everyone should have salary. And now let's move to the commission. Same way we will be doing it. RND random and random number, right? And for this I will give 5% to, let's say, 15%, right? So in between select something, and all must be there. Okay, now in the department, if you see here, we have custom data source, and then we have department number required. All should have the department number. And for example, now let's see how is the data. We'll see the data, right? And if you see, so this is just preview, it is still not generation. Okay, if you see here the job, it is taking the value of the ename, because ename is not showing as a full. It is 10 characters. And then if you see here, it is taken this one at the rate. I'm just giving you an example. It's not something that it is an accurate data, but at least it will give you an understanding. So this is manager, and this is hire date, this is salary, this is commission, this is department, right? Okay, now if let me remove this job, this email, because this will confuse you that why we are having email. So built-in, again we will go. Okay, one more thing. Let's say for example, I have inline. Instead of doing this one, I will say job. Let's say for example, manager, frequency, let it be there, and manager, and then clerk, and DBA. This is number of, I think, times it should be selected and are assigned. So let's go with this, right? And I will remove this formula. I don't need it. Now inline, I have used this one, and required for every records. Right now, let us preview. So now in job we have inline data. So if you will see, it will be job, let's say clerk, manager, managers. See, so its sample is 5 data, so it is just showing this one. And if you have multiple tables, you can select over here multiple tables sample data while testing it. So I think it is now, let us try with the generation of the data. So here it says file export. Let us file export. Instead of JSON, we will go with the insert. So at least we can see how it will look like. And it will be 50 records. We are not changing it. And generate data. Here it is created, and let us see, right? So if you see here, now I can run this script to insert into my database table. And if you see here, this is our 50 records, right? Okay, same way I can create as a JSON or comma separated, up to you, right? So now next is insert to into database. Let's see how it will it will be single, right? Not as a fast insert into. So let us try. Okay, successfully inserted data into the table from the blueprint. So let us see here in our table. Is it right? See, if you see here, this sample data inserted in our table. Just now, if you will run this report or things like that, at least you will know that how it look like, how your performance is there of the application. So it will be really helpful instead of doing one by one, and then you can keep this data every time when you maybe drop the table, you can again regenerate while testing or UAT or anything, CRP. This is always a challenge to have data, right? So if you see here, if I will do this one fast and same way, right? Because data is just 50 records, so it is not taking time. uh, if I will do this one, if I will show 100, excuse me. So if you see here, it is 5,000 records. 50 multiplied by 100. Okay, so 50 multiplied by 100, and it is fast insert. Let's see, right? This is what I was saying. The errors. I don't know how to find these errors because I was not getting much information. So if you see here, it says data into the database, verify source types and this and that. We don't know on which column the error is there. So see, nothing much information is there. So this was a bit confusing for me, where Oracle has to improve, This tool is very good, but certain things are really confusing. So if here it is validity is valid, then at least show the exact error, because this way you can't find it. See, I've just inserted, why now it is giving error? That means maybe while creating some sort of random value, something it is coming. I don't know at the moment. So let us do maybe one. Let's try again, and now let's see if there's any error. Again there's an error, same, right? Maybe already data is inserted, so I don't know what are the constraints over there on this table, but this is how you can generate your data, right? Insert data. And now let me show you to have a JSON or commas have separated. Okay, so JSON, let's say for example 50 records, or it will be. Another way is you can find that maybe these errors. The one trick I used, to be honest, I created this SQL insert, and then I was using manual statement over there to find where is the issue, if there is any, right? Okay, this is one. So generate, we have just checked this generation of the data, and now let me show you by coming here. So if you see here, you can generate from here or you can export from here, right? So if I export, this is my blueprint JSON definition of the blueprint. So I can export somewhere else if it is required, or even import here as well. It is up to you. So export blueprint, right? My blueprint is, this is JSON, right? So if I have to import, I can just import this file in any instance where I need it, right? Okay, now let me show you a few more things over here. Sorry, not this one, because we were doing testing on this. Okay, for example, this commission. Here we have a sequence as well. So sequence is start with, let's say for example, I will say 10 and increment by 5, right? And required. So it will give to all the records. So first record start with 1, so it will give, I think, 15. And then 555 increment. Let's see how it will show if there is no error. Good. So if you see here, it is showing on the commission start with 10, because it is not showing all the records, it is showing just sample 5. But this is how, see, it will be 5 gap, right? And if you don't want any gap, let's say for example sequence, even you can start with 1. Let's see, it shouldn't be more than 15 because there are total 50 records, right? So 1 2 is like this. So if I will select here 15, you can see maybe more records, right? So this is the way you can play with it, right? To create a source, you can create over here, you can select a table, existing table, or you can use select query from dual. Let's say for example you have some standard values. This way you already tested. And I think and when you will click any option on the right side, you will get this help, which is sometimes not in detail, but it is something to, I mean, uh, initial understanding on things like that. So I don't think so I have missed anything over here. This is multi-value. See, if you see here the multi-value, it is there. So let's say for the first multi-value option, delimited, advanced, this, that. So it's not delimited, so I'm just making it uncheck. And when you will click, if you see here on the right, okay, another confusing thing which I at least observed. So this is higher date. Let's say for example I'm saying random date. So this is minimum date and maximum date. If you see here, I have clicked on minimum date and it says something, I don't know, this help, maybe I was not able to get exact what it says. Enter a date you want the dates to be generated equal to or greater than, right? This is a date. And then they say the date string will be converted to a date object. So date string, right? So I can enter string. Format mask specified using the mark. If none is provided, the default format mask is this, right? So this is you have to maybe enter in this format or something like that. I was not able to do over here. You can explore it. That's it. I think there's nothing much over here. You can export from here. You can delete. Okay, let me delete it over here now. Right, delete. Okay, and then here let me click columns just to free our space. Truncate table. I don't need data in this. Right, data. So it is empty. I will recreate this M table, right? And this is the script of this M table. Just wanted to show you. And this is emp number, right? And if you see here, e name is just 10 width. Okay, and here we have this foreign key to emp table itself, and then this is foreign key to the department table, and this is our trigger where it is assigning sequence, right? But yeah, if it is null, even you can assign from there, because if null, then it will not assign. You can have your own sequence as well, nothing to worry. So if I will just show you in this to insert, give your own sequence, how it will be. Because here it is not there, amp number is no more there. Let me create just quickly one. I just wanted to show you something. So right, this is amp, and this is my amp. Just this blueprint creation is taking a bit time. I don't know, maybe it is doing some extra steps. Okay, so just emp number. So here it is saying this is GUID, which is will be a large number, we don't need it. And we will say we don't want to give random, we want to give a sequence number, right? So we don't need this built in, we need sequence, right? And sequence, here you can say start with 1 and increment with 1. That's it. Very simple. And it will go 1 to whatever your records are there. This is one way of generating a sequence. Okay. And then you have built-in inline, we have already tried. Formula we have already tried. And this custom source, if you will remove this custom source, let me show you. I think this is already reference, so we can't delete. Then it will not show this custom reference over there. Okay, here this custom data source will be skipped from this. And if you see here on the right side, these are the blueprint. Okay, if you will have multiple tables, let's say here amp and department number, then you will get over here another option called blueprint. This one, the first one. Since it is not showing at the moment, let me create a quick one. Same amp and depth. Sorry. Okay, this is amp, and this selection is really not easy, to be honest. If I will make select, it will unselect this amp, so there is no use. So now let me find the department will be closed. So at the moment I have selected two tables, so it is not showing anywhere here that which tables are selected, or so this is where Oracle has to do something. So let me see if amp is selected. Amp is quite down. EM EP, it will be somewhere, and I cannot increase the width because it will only show 5 records. So if your tables are more, see, it is unselected. Okay, good, we have selected it now. So I have selected two tables where we have foreign key as well. Just wanted to show you this blueprint as a source. Okay, and this is the exclude columns, right? These are some sort of hidden at the bottom, right? So you have to explore or scroll down. Whatever fields or column you want to exclude, you can exclude over here. Create blueprint from tables. Done. Okay, and so if you see here, we have now two tables, right? Two tables. So if I will click department number and I will click this, if you see here, we have a blueprint, right? So this is now, this was not there. Since now we have two tables, then it is showing you blueprint. Let me click blueprint, what it will show, see, column from the blueprint. Select a table. No, it is not responding. Blueprint. See, it shouldn't do like this, but maybe Oracle has to fix certain issues. Let me refresh. Okay, now if you see here, I have department number. See here, so this is now blueprint and department number, right? So it is taken from the table of the same blueprint. So here now it is not there in the in the custom sources, right? If you see here in the last example. So I think this will be on the foreign key, where you have the foreign key. So department number is a foreign key, but if you try to do this one on any other, it will not work. So on foreign keys you can do this one as per my understanding. Okay, so enjoy this. Okay, let me show you the preview. I just wanted to, I mean, close this video at least in a detailed manner. Okay, so here it will, this is GUID. If you see here department number, this is not something we haven't. So if you click this from here, you can preview like this multiple tables and generate. Uh, Sorry, this department number is, see here, it was selected like this. So ideally it shouldn't be. You can create here random number, or you can give a sequence number. Better here you can give a sequence number, right? Whatever it is, right? And now enjoy this feature, try it. It is really helpful and something to be used, because normally people don't explore things, and that's why certain features are skipped or ignored, right? So SQL workshop, utilities and data generator, try it and please share your feedback and comments. Thank you very much and Allah Hafiz.